So this compound bow over here, it's a Dart and Tempest XT3D LD. Specs 320 to 325 feet per second. It's long, guys. Axle to axle is 36 inches. It weighs about 4 pounds. I adjusted the draw weight to 55 pounds. Feels comfortable for me. And I'll get to the arrow specs in a second. But let's get to the video. So my new archery target is here. So it takes broadheads as well, not just field points. What is that? Expandables? Okay, I don't use expandables, I just use broadheads. But you know, some archery places you go to, you got to use the field points. But I like this. I bought 2 of them. The other one's in the box, so come ready to rock and roll. You don't gotta pretty much take anything out. I'm gonna keep this on there. I don't know. It falls off, then it falls off, right? But we're gonna see how good these are. You're supposed to, what does it say? It doesn't stop the arrow, it absorbs it or something. I mean, I have a deer target. You might have seen it in one of my videos. But you know, you gotta stake it to the ground all the time, and you gotta put it in a nice even place. You can't just put it anywhere. But this block, you could just throw it anywhere. You can take it to like archery places and just plop it down. I bought 2 of them, put one on top of the other. Deer target spot is going to be about, so each of these are what, 18, so it's 36. Average deer is what, 24 tall or something. So the hit spot is about 18 or 20 inches up where the vital organs are. But anyway, but you get what I'm trying to say. You can take this and just block it anywhere. With the deer target, you got to stake it in, and you got to go through all that stuff, which is fine. But when you want to just have a quick practice lesson or whatever, you can just grab this. It's very light too. You know, it's a big block, but it's extremely light. You know, it's nothing. You just take this, plop it, rock and roll, take it back, and you're good. So we're gonna go out and take her for a spin. Did you see watch the diesel smoke? Did you see the diesel smoke come out the? Anyway, so depending on where you go and what targets to bring. So if you're going to the woods to target practice, yeah, you're gonna probably take a target that's a deer target or whatever you're shooting at, because you're trying to recreate a more realistic atmosphere. But if you're just going to, let's say, like an archery place where you want to focus on your distance, how well you shoot from 5 yards, 10 yards, and so on and so forth. You're gonna go to a regular archery target place. You're gonna bring the block targets. But again, if you hit the woods, like you see me here driving around looking for a nice spot, either you're hunting or you're just practicing, you're going to want to bring the proper target. And like I say again, you're going to want probably the deer target. And the thing is, with the deer targets, I said before, you have to stake them to the ground. So once I had this deer target and it was kind of it wasn't in a hill, it's kind of flat, but it was kind of hilly a little bit. And when the arrows kept hitting the deer, it leans forward a bit, and you can't just adjust it. You have to restake it. So keep that in mind. But one thing about either you're practicing or hunting, going out to nature, experiencing the woods, oh, man, it's a win-win situation. Even if you don't do well in your target practice or you don't bag anything, it's still a win-win situation. You got to be with nature, away from concrete, cell phone, and electricity and all that stuff. You're just primitive. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. I'm not knocking modern day life, but you know, sometimes you got to get away, right? And it feels good. So I said I was going to fill you guys in on the arrows, right? The arrow specs. So again, the draw weight, I'm drawing 55 pounds. The draw length is 32.5 inches. My draw, 30 inches. So the arrow's cut 32.5 inches. I built this arrow heavy, 737.38 grains. It's a series Vulcan, 250 spine. I put a 100 grain insert in the arrow broadheads are 250 grain cutthroats. They're sharp as hell. So I'm shooting 13.41 grains per pound. So yeah, this arrow, the pro of it, if you're in the East Coast, you're pretty much, when you're shooting, if you're shooting at a deer, is pretty much at closer range. It's not like you're in the West Coast mountains where you're shooting from really far, where you want to make the arrow as light as possible so it can travel. So the farther it goes, the less it spirals downwards. But if it's heavy, really heavy, after a while, it's going to start spiraling downwards because of how heavy it is. But regardless, it's really fun, and it's built for the East Coast, put it that way. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I'm just testing to see how these block targets absorb or stop the arrows, because the deer, it works well, but after a while, shooting broadheads, especially the big ones I'm shooting with, it starts tearing that deer up. And so far so good. So far it's handling, I would say it's handling better than the deer target, and obviously because look how big the foam block targets are compared to the deer. You pretty much just have that spot where vital organs, the lungs and the heart. So it's a little space to tear apart, right? But the blockheads, it's a lot to tear apart. So probably, yeah, last longer. Okay, so that shot right there, you see how it spun the top block off? If you're going to get these targets, I don't want you to worry about that. That rarely ever happens. That shot was desired improvement anyway. So don't worry thinking you're going to keep going up to the targets and adjusting them. No, they're going to take it. And I'm shooting mighty close. I'm not like really far. And I'm shooting heavy arrows. So that's something to take account too as well. So I don't want you to get, so yeah, they handle arrows. So the first shot I shot actually went through, and it was poking out the back. So I pushed the arrow completely in, and I pulled the broadhead out the back. But the other shots, ever since then, it's handling it well. It's stopping it enough where I could just pull them out. As you can see, all these shots, that's what I was testing. I wasn't really going for aim. Just give you an idea. I did aim for this spot and hit that spot where I wanted it. But the other shots, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't going for aim. I was just trying to see how well this handles more than the deer target. And I'm satisfied. I like what it's doing, so that's what it is. So this is the tail, wondering how deep they go in. Most of the times they don't go through, but you see that two of them went through. See this one a little peek out, and this one right here went completely through. So I'm gonna unscrew the broadhead. So I'm unscrewing the broadhead so I can pull this out. The path of less resistance will be to pull it in. I'll just put the broadhead right here. And again, I'm gonna push these. Well, this one is already in, so I'm just gonna pull this one out. This is the last batch. Again, I wasn't really aiming, but two of them came like almost hitting each other. I did that once where I shot the arrows and they hit each other. And it broke the other arrows. I was like, I started shooting one at a time after that, but now I'm back to shooting multiple ones at a time. I just try to aim a little bit away from the other one. But there you have it. See, it really works really well because it's not going through. Like I said, the first one I shot pretty much went through and was sticking out, poking out a little bit on that side, but there you have it.